Hey, this is Smiles with another classic game review. Today, let's take a look back at Megaman X. Megaman X was originally released for the SNES back in '93, and since then has been followed by 7 direct sequels, 3 related releases, and multiple re-releases. The story of Megaman X takes place a century after the original Mega Man series. In this futuristic scene, humans and Reploids, or robots who have free will, live in harmony. However, a group of maverick Reploids, led by Sigma, have started causing havoc and plan to eradicate the human race. It's up to X and his partner Zero to stop this threat. In Mega Man X, you go through 8 stages where you fight the maverick boss at the end of each stage. After defeating each boss, you get a new weapon you can use. You finally face Sigma and must navigate through his 4-part fortress to defeat him. Deja vu much? Yeah, it sounds like any other Mega Man game, except replace Dr. Wily with Sigma and the Robot Masters with Mavericks. Mega Man X had way more than a few similarities with previous titles. However, Mega Man X does have some key differences from its predecessors. For instance, X can upgrade his armor with parts such as the dash boots to gain new abilities. X can also control mechs in some areas. What I thought was the coolest addition was the ability to change the stage layout. For instance, if you defeat Chill Penguin and then immediately go to Flame Mammoth stage, the lava is completely frozen over. In subsequent releases, the X series later adds more features, such as the ability to play as Zero, to distinguish itself from the rest of the franchise. However, the first Mega Man X game had too many similarities to the original series. Mega Man X was a well-designed game back in the day. The graphics were crisp, the character designs looked amazing, and the soundtrack was awesome! Each stage really captured the futuristic mood, while retaining a more natural look in some stages, such as Chill Penguins and Steel Chameleons. The enemy designs, especially the bosses, were the best of the best in Mega Man history. Cutman and Gutsman looked like pansies compared to Storm Eagle and Launch Octopus. Enemies ranged from the simple Mets to a Bumblebee helicopter. Many of the enemies took the shapes of animals. Likewise, each boss was modeled after an animal, but this is quite obvious from their names. Probably my favorite part of Mega Man X is the music. It's a known fact that the SNES had a weaker sound chip than the Genesis, but the music in this game easily tops Sega's best games. You can't resist the urge to bob your head as you shoot down incoming enemies. I even have Storm Eagle's theme as my ringtone. The heavily rock-influenced soundtrack has some of the most iconic tunes in video game history. The game gives players a fair challenge. Simply put, Mega Man X progressively increased in difficulty as you go. The Highway and Chill Penguin stages were fairly easy, while the Sigma stages offered a tough challenge. In my personal experience with modern games, the difficulty would either spike without warning or wouldn't increase the entire time. This type of challenge found in modern games isn't rewarding, and it's quite frustrating to get through. In Mega Man X, however, the challenge is rewarding because you actually learn with the game. Each stage calls upon past skills you've learned while throwing new challenges your way. The challenge of Mega Man X is still fresh after all these years. While a minor complaint, I'm not a really big fan of the password system. Like I said previously, there's a good amount of unlockables in this game. But what's stopping a player from inputting a password and just getting all the upgrades without any of the work? It's surprising that Capcom didn't use a save file system instead. Super Mario World had one, and it was released a few years before Mega Man X, so it's quite possible for this title to have one. Still, this is a minor complaint and doesn't take away from the overall experience. Mega Man X gave the Mega Man franchise a facelift it definitely needed. Mega Man X presented itself as an edgier and more futuristic game than its predecessors, complete with tough enemies and an epic soundtrack. While there were many similarities in how the game was laid out, the inclusion of new upgrades and abilities differentiated itself from other Mega Man games. Mega Man X offered a unique challenge that continued to evolve as the series progressed. Mega Man X was a sign of good things to come, and is still one of the coolest games around.